So we're going to look at how players move off the ball, and what I mean by that is moving their centre of mass away from the target. Usually happens because maybe players think they've got to get the pressure in their right foot and then to their left foot, which is the right idea, but it's the wrong way of doing it. And when players do move their mass away for too long and too much, it's generally with some sort of slide with the hip or the whole body. So that's quite common. What we're going to look at is how players use their bend in their back, so this way, or extending, and how that influences the mass moving behind the ball. So let's say I turn my hips well, but then added more forward bend. I've still got the same problem, my mass being too far behind the ball. Now, what that's going to cause, if I did get back somewhere near the golf ball, I'd still be having my low point before the ball, lots of heavy and thin shots. So the time we don't mind a bit of that, having the low point before the ball, is for the driver. So for the driver, you've got a slight tilt behind the ball. That's okay. As long as you miss the ground, your club's going to work its way up, generally towards the golf ball, and hitting up with the ball on the tee. Great for distance with the driver. So if it's with the driver and it's a little bit, that's okay. But if you see yourself turning your hips well, but your upper body's forward bending a lot over the golf ball and behind the golf ball, then you could be in trouble. So the reason you obviously get these heavy and thin shots is because your mass is back here. You're also, if you do strike it okay, likely to hit hooks or blocks. Maybe the odd good draw there as well. Now that happens because if I start my backswing with a turn, so I'll leave my arms alone now, but I'll turn my body. If I add this forward bend, you can see how the club and my arms, so as a turn, add the forward bend, they move further behind me. Yes, I'll lift my arms at some point, but my arms will be quite deep and quite low. So that's going to encourage the club to want to move out to the right. Great direction to swing the club if you want to draw it. Might turn into a hook or a block though, depends on the club face. So the opposite is true. If I turned my hips, but now extended my back, watch where the club goes. So turning and extending. You can see the club doesn't go behind me now, it starts to work up more. So if you're somebody that might see excessive extension in the back this way, your club can get a bit higher and you might end up swinging across the golf ball. So you'll hit the opposite to someone that adds this forward bend. You'll hit pulls and slices. So let's go back to this forward bend, adding too much, and there's an easy fix for it. Double stick, I've got it in the swing plate here, up against your right ear. Now the great thing about this is you'll know obviously very early if you do forward bend, you crash into the stick. The other great thing is I can still hit shots, and if you're not used to having this extension in your back, it might encourage the club to get a bit steep in this way. But with the stick there, like I just brilliantly demonstrated, you know about it when you hit it. So I can have the stick in there, I'm going top of my back swing, I'm extending my back, not forward bending. You can see I'm much more in line and over the ball for longer. Pressure still in my right foot, but from here with the stick, I won't come over the top, which is likely if you've not been in this position before. So I can still swing underneath it and hit any type of shot I want. If, and this is rarer I'd say, but it still happens, if you're someone that goes the other way, which we do see, an easy move to feel the difference and feel the other end of the spectrum is to set yourself up, and then with your left hand, your front hand with your glove, grab your back knee. So my left hand as a right hander to the back of my right knee. And you can see I've added forward bend to get there and I've moved behind the golf ball. If you're someone that goes there already, you definitely don't want that. You've got to use the stick and go the other way. So a couple of fixes there for whichever move you see. But if you are someone that sees hooks, blocks, heavy, thin shots, and on camera you're turning all right, maybe the amount's okay, but you can see your upper body outside your lower body, couple of sticks up against your right ear, that'll help the extension in the backswing.